What's up? What's up? What's up, good people? How y'all doing? I surely hope you had an amazing day. Y'all, we are about to talk about Love is Blind, Season 7, Episode 2, The Perfect Husband. But for all of y'all that are first-time watchers of Love is Blind, are you hooked yet? Are you hooked? Like, when I first started watching Love is Blind, I was hooked immediately. But I love love. And I love all the things. I love people, and I love the emotional roller coaster, the life lessons of all the things that come with dating and discovering who you are. And so if this is your first time watching Love is Blind, I hope you are enjoying it as much as I did when I started watching it. And for those of you that this is your first time following me, you looking like, who is this woman with this blonde crown? Baby, this is your girl's crown. Do you hear me? I'm your girl, Candace. I'm better known as the Spirit Chiropractor. I am a spiritual relationship and life coach. And so what I'm doing over the next 13 days is giving you a recap, a breakdown, some coaching lessons on love from using the Netflix series Love is Blind. So y'all ready to get into it for tonight? On episode number 2, we had 2 new couples introduced into the fold. We had Marissa and Ramsey, and we also had Garrett and Taylor. Both very interesting couples. I think that I talked about, wait a minute. Oh, no, not Garrett and Taylor. I'm like, I talked about Garrett and Taylor yesterday. Monica and Steven was introduced on today. So let's get into it. My first topic. Now, I told the people on yesterday, like, the goal was to focus on 1 or 2 topics in my 30 minutes here with y'all. But I'm going to let God do what he do, and whatever comes up and comes out, that's what we're going to talk about. So feel free. You can chat with me. You can just tune in and listen. Definitely for those that are dating and you are looking for love. Take notes. Take notes. And for those that are engaged, take notes. And for those that are married, take notes. I've been married for 22 years, and so that's another reason why I absolutely love this show. I love what God has called me to do as far as being a life and relationship coach, because I get to help the people discover who they are and understand what love is really about and just grow closer and closer to God. And so, first and foremost, I want to ask y'all, should you talk about cheating on the first date? I know some of y'all, like, you just said you was finna be coaching us and giving us the love lesson. So that was a rhetorical question. I'm going to tell you, I think you should talk about cheating in the dating phase of your relationship. And I mean, talk about it from an honest point. If you have cheated, if you have been cheated on, and share what that experience was like for you, why you did it. Like, if somebody was to ask you, have you ever cheated on somebody, and you well into your 30s and your 40s and you hollering about now, they probably gonna think you off the rip you a liar. You're not truthful. Let me say it with some niceness on it, that you're not a truthful person. So the more that you can be real, the more that you can be authentic. And I know that is so scary for some, like, to Candace, you saying just be up front and honest like that. Yes. Because now you give people an opportunity to choose to move further with you. You give them an opportunity to get to know the real you, fall in love with the real you, versus having these pretense, making up stuff, not being honest, and then they're falling in love with lies, and then it come out later on in a relationship when they done really start vibing with you. And it's like, so this is what our relationship is built on. So yes, I think talking about cheating is it's a part of, if it has been a part of your life, it's a part of reality. And if you're ashamed or embarrassed or you feel guilty about it, and you have those emotions come up, then you know that there are some things that you need to still work through. You know, I was reading the Bible today, and it was saying like sexual immorality is, it's something that we do to ourselves. It's a inner destruction that happens. So whenever we're thinking like we can have sex with people and just disconnect from it, that's not. Your soul, it lives within your body. And so when you release your body to somebody, you give your body to somebody, your soul is impacted. You might want to make yourself believe that it ain't, but your soul is impacted. And this is what I want us to know. And look here, be gentle with yourself with this conversation. Definitely women, because I know women more than likely carry this shame and guilt around this topic. But and if you feel that, then you're in a place where you're ready to grow and you're ready to elevate because you feel something about it. I would say it was just saying, where was I about to go with that? It was just saying that when we give ourselves, our body is not our own. And I'm talking to the believers right now. Our body is not our own. So it is our duty to take care of the temple, because the temple is to be used for God. And he's using your body. And this is how the commentary of the Bible said, like when you move into a building or you are in a place that is not yours, you really got a contract that says you're going to take care of this, and any damage that you do to it, it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you your deposit, is what that contract says when you go and rent out places or you move into an apartment. And so you are conscious of taking care of that space. And so look at your body in the same way. This right here was bought with a price. And so it's not your own. So take care of it the best that you can. But again, that's just me getting off on a rant. But love yourself enough to not give yourself to just anybody. So in this episode, I really wanted to give Leo his props because he was very honest in both of his connections. He was honest the whole time in the pods about how connected he was to Hannah and Brittany and loving them both the same. It really wasn't working. You'll end up saying it really didn't work for his good, but he really was just honest and he didn't want to rush the process. And what I found really interesting is when people get into this process and they know that the people are dating other people, they want them to eventually make a choice on their terms when they feel like they should be ready. Like, you got to give people, and that's just a real life thing, you got to give people an opportunity to move through their process how they want to move through it without you forcing or threatening them to leave or whatever the case may be. Allow them to have their process and understand that you got a choice. You don't have to stick with them through their process. If you feel like, no, I'm worth more than this. No, I feel like we should be here, and that's your own judgment. But you know what you want for yourself, and you get to move on at any time. But to try to rush and force and make somebody, yeah, because a lot of us got control issues. You can only control you. And so allow people to have their dating process, their committed process. Because sometimes once you get in committed relationships, then folks want to start threatening you that if you don't hurry up and propose to me, then this, that, and the other. I never told my husband, at the time boyfriend, I never gave him a date. Although in my head, I was thinking, okay, your time is running out, partner. And if it ain't done by this time, then I'm making the choice to walk away. I would dare not pressure him to marry me when he was not ready. And then have to live with the whole, which I have heard men say, I wasn't ready to get married. I only got married because you were saying this, or you was threatening to leave, or you did. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. You might can state your position, you might can state where you at with it, but never force somebody to be with you, threaten somebody to be with you, trying to control the situation so much that they feel like this is their only choice, because sometimes they just not empower themselves. Okay, that was, again, see, I'm gonna be in flow. That's what I'm gonna do. I am going to be in the flow of this thing. All right. So the next thing that I wanted to make, didn't I tell y'all on the last video, we talked about insecurities, right? And so on this show, you saw how Hannah broke up with Nick, let him go, and then evidently told producers, bring him back. Hold on, bring it back. But Hannah too was listening to the women in the pods. Be mindful of that, of listening to other people, and it's going against what you feel. And let me, Lord, let me break that down a little bit more. You can take the advice of other people. That absolutely is nothing wrong with that. But in the end, once you've collected all your advice, follow your intuition, follow your gut, follow your heart. That way, you can stand on the decision. Because when you're following somebody else's choice, in our humanness, we can get mad at the other person because I listen to you. You mad because you listen to them. You mad at them because you listened to them, and it was something that was against what you wanted. I'm going to be the type, I can live with my decisions. I can live with my choices. But I ain't got time to be beating myself up because I listen to you and not listen to myself. Now I got to be processing all of that on top of my own stuff. I ain't doing it. I'm gonna make the decision for me. And so this is what Hannah told Nick. I hurt you because I didn't want you to hurt me. Scared that you were going to be disappointed in me. Some of us are self-sabotaging ourselves with people who genuinely love us. Genuinely love us. And that goes to the saying, hurt people hurt people. If you've never heard that, really listen to that. Hurt people hurt people. This is what I desire. One day, I'm going to get to be a coach behind the scenes for one of these dating series reality shows, whether it is Love is Blind, whether it's what's my other favorite one? Oh God, it's gonna come to me. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I done said her and went blank. I can't even remember what the show is. That's pitiful. That's pitiful. I don't think they've been on no this year. It might be one reason I don't forgot. God, nephew Tommy, yeah, help me out. Help me out. Ready to love. Duh. Duh. Ready to love. All right. Let's keep it moving. So the last thing that I really want to talk about is Ramses saying the how critical his father was. And it makes him not be able to be empathetic with himself, not to be gentle with himself. He's hard on himself, and he feels like, in his words, I'm never good enough. That breaks my heart. That breaks my heart. Because that is a reality for many of us when we have critical parents. And sometimes we don't even, we can become grown and not even realize that it was critical because it became normalized. It is just what we knew. And definitely in our culture, it is, oh, that's just tough love. That's unloving. You do not have to be critical. You can still tell your kids the truth, give them feedback in love. Feedback and criticism is two different things. And so what happens when a parent is critical, and I'm gonna tell you, forgive your parents. Forgive your parents, because more than likely they parented you like they were parented. Let me say it again. They parented you like they were parented. So it's just passed down from generation to generation until somebody says, I want to break the cycle and I'm not going to be critical of my children. I'm not going to do it. And it's not to say your parents, absolutely, I'm going to say they did love you. They just thought that is how I am to parent. And never taking a moment as parents, if you are living unconscious and you haven't went through a healing process, you haven't become a spiritual being having a Christ consciousness, you will be unconscious moving and operating in a certain type of way with your kids. We all are imperfect. We're imperfect individuals. And so our parents just did not know. But still, they may not have known, but it doesn't take away the fact that it still hurt our little people. Now we can get old and try to rationalize it and make it all right, but that ain't healthy either. So let's talk about the impact of having a critical parent. As Ramses said, it makes you feel like you're not enough, makes you feel like you're not good enough. If there was name calling involved, you may now be telling yourself some of the same stuff that your parents told you when you mess up or you don't get something right in life, or it was a wrong decision. If your parents called you out your name, you stupid, you dumb, you this, you that, you just like your daddy, you just like all of that. That is who is in your ear right now. It ain't even your voice. It's the generation of the family pattern that is in your voice, in your head right now. The impact of a critical parent will make you second guess yourself. It will make you have a lack consciousness. It will make you constantly strive to prove them wrong. You constantly trying to do things that will say, I am enough. You will constantly try to, and you find yourself overworking yourself, stressing yourself out, piling all this stuff on top of all this stuff just to prove you are lovable. You will get into relationships, and the moment that person steps on that critical parent wound, now you lash out at them. Now you are defensive with them, or your walls come up. Now, some of us are being attacked, not because of who we are. We're being blamed for it, but it's really a parent face attached to the action or our behavior. And we're wondering, like, why are you responding to me like that? Like, I didn't even mean it like that, or I didn't even say it like that. But you stepped on the trigger. And it's there. It's a wound there. But we can accept the suffering and sorrow with joy, going back to hinds feet on high places, because you understand that it's all going to work for your good. It's coming up now so you can heal your little person, so you can evolve into the best version of yourself. So if I was speaking to Ramses, it is to say you are more than enough, brother. You are more than enough. That your dad was being the best father that he can. I'm sure he probably prayerfully wanted the best for you, but just didn't know how to say it with love, say it in love. Maybe he just didn't understand that you were in development. You were in development on whatever it is that you were not getting right. As a kid, we are in development. We are learning how to do life. Heck, we are grown people still learning how to do life. And so I ask that any of us that has dealt with a critical parent, that you go into the mirror and you tell yourself that I am enough. And if you got lack consciousness, you denying the power that you have within, or because you are not enough, you keep stuff. You become a hoarder and you just keeping stuff. Be willing to release that, release it, and walk in the truth of I was in development. And if your parent is still critical today, now with your new awareness, the truth that you know about how that made you feel, speak to it. Speak to it. To whom much is given, much is required. Even that much is given can be knowledge, understanding. Because if they're critical with you and it's not broken, they will be critical with your children and probably still critical with you. So make a decision to be the light. Be the light. Be the light and continue to tell yourself, I am enough, because it's going to show up in your relationships. You can also, that not enoughness can show up in you either overly compensating for where you feel like you lack, or you put this heavy requirement, this heavy burden, this heavy responsibility on your spouse, on your partner, to make you feel like you are enough. That which you should give to yourself, you put it on somebody else to do it for you. And when they do not do it for you, you make them wrong. You make them not the one. You make them feel like they are not good enough, just like you feel. Just like you feel. Because we really do mirror each other. We really do. And so, you know what? I think that is the perfect ending point for this show. And I want to remind you, I'm not going to even read the quote from Heinz Feet. I will just tell you this. I'm going to summarize it. That God puts this desire in our heart for Him in this form of love. Our beingness is love. And when our relationships, when our marriages are operating in its best version, when it's full of love, we get to experience God on a day-to-day basis. We get to be in His presence with our spouse on a day-to-day basis, because love, it literally is, it's intoxicating. It feels so good. When it's right, it feels so good. How can that not be from God? You know what I'm saying? And I want to leave it with this quote, actually, from Taylor, when Garrett said, you're playing hard to get. She was like, no, I'm playing hard to earn. I don't know. I just liked it that. I liked it did that. I really did. So thank y'all for tuning in to episode 2 of Love is Blind, season 7, Coaching Love. Candace, the Candace Tuck way, the spirit chiropractor way. So thank y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. We're going to be back here tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to be talking about episode 3. Let me see what the title is. Is it too late? Is it too late? So meet me back here. Tell a friend, tell a homegirl, watch it with your boo. And like we say on the Couples Lounge, I hope I'm giving you something to talk about. Definitely something to think about as you continue on this journey of love. Can love really be blind? I love y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in. Peace out.